Hey guys, welcome back to modifying a Flyfly F-86 Sabre. Well, how does she look? You might as well say she's pretty much 99.9% complete. Right now I found some fuel line, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put locks on all the control clevises. You know how you put fuel line, a little piece of fuel line on the clevises and make sure they don't come out on you. Now I'm just taking care of a lot of little things, even touching up the paint here and there. Just want her to be perfect for when she goes for that first flight. But she is, right, as you see, pretty much complete. Oh, and also going to pull out that ESC. I'm going to cut some of the wires off. I think my wiring's too long. I noticed it was pushing through a bulge in my thrust tube, so I'm going to pull the wiring out and shorten it. I thought better long than short would be better, but hey, I guess it was way too long, so I'm going to pull all that wire I got tucked in there out, and it'll take off some of the weight as well, too. But if you notice one thing, guys, years. Huh? What do you see? Can anyone tell me? Raise your hand if you know what it is. That's a pair of cheap landing gear doors. Yep. I made a nice little pair of cheap landing gear doors, and they work pretty good, too. I'm still thinking about making them a little larger. But hey, we'll worry about it later. But right now, they're on, they're looking good, and they're doing the job. I still got a couple little decals and so forth that I want to put on there too. But for now, the main thing we're going to talk about is balancing. It's very important to balance your aircraft before you take it out. Even if you have something like a ready to run or ready to fly plane that you just throw in the battery and go, still it's best to check out your balance first. And balance on here, I found my directions. Balance on here is 217 millimeters past the leading edge. I might have to make a couple marks here to get the precise line on which to balance it on. Now, one thing I've always done when I balance, it doesn't hurt these foam planes. Here, this is off my Cessna. Now, one thing that I've always done, as you can see here, I marked the balance line right on the foam. Doesn't hurt the plane, doesn't take from the appearance, but on most of my planes, this is what I do. I mark the balance line because you never know when you're going to lose your directions. And that's your reference for your balance point if ever you do any repairs. And it's good to mark them. That way you never forget where they are because it's already on the plane. Because like I said, I've lost directions before. And I had to figure out how to balance things. Also, too, when you're balancing, there's several types of things you want to use for weights. Now, over the years, I collected a few things. This here, my little macaroni salad container, contains a lot of things. Now, one place I found that has some good weights that are cheap and easy to use, fish bait store. Go to the fish bait store. They got all these lead weights, as you can see right here. All these lead weights. They vary in sizes and shapes. I like to get the round ones, and the thickness of them varies, as you can see, like the thickness here. The thickness varies depending on the weight, and they come in all sorts of sizes and shapes, and even little ones like this. And they're easy to glue in different spots. And you got so many different variations of them. Sizes and weights and so forth. And they're real cheap too. They're real cheap. I think last time I was at the bait store and I got myself some lead weight sinkers. I think I only paid about $3. And I got about maybe 8 sinkers for $3. All different sizes. And it's never failed me. Another thing too, sometimes you have junk laying around. I got these old ball bearings here too. and they work okay, but you got to put a lot of epoxy in place to hold them in place. Versus whereas with the sinkers, you can just put a nice bead of epoxy right there, tack it down, and you're set. A lot easier. And another thing I want to discuss too, balancers. Now I know some of you guys balance by using your fingertips. You know, you get on the balance mark and you hold it up the plane and you balance it using your fingertips, that's good too. And I used to even have a homemade balancer, which was just a plank of wood with a couple of tall dowels and pencil erasers on the end. That worked great too. But one thing that you really want to invest in sometime, I saw a chance to get this, and I did. Let me show you. This is a Great Plains balancing machine. Here, let me get you. Can you see it? Yeah, by Great Plains. It's a CG machine, and this works great. You know, it's got your supports here, and your rod's coming up at an angle. Then what I like too is where you rest your plane on. These rest supports here, and this is where you put your leading edge on. You know, and when you find your balance point, and this moves back and forth. This is a ruler. It moves back and forth. It's got all your measurements on it. Now, one little trick I like to do when I do this, sometime when you're sitting your plane on your supports, it moves them. Now, one thing that I like to do, I take some Scotch tape, and once I find where my balance point is, say like 140 millimeters, once it's on there, I put the Scotch tape right across here. That way, it doesn't move, and it stays there even if I bump it a few times, which makes it a lot easier to do your balance work. So, like I said, I just made this quick video showing you guys the Sabre and what shape she's in, and where we are. Now we got a holiday weekend coming up, and I'm not going to fly the Sabre, but I will have a chance to get the balance work done and all those other little bits. You know, because like I said, I got a few dinks like that right there I'm going to take care of. And I tell you, I think I need another coat of paint on those gear doors. So I'm going to take care of that as well. And I'm going to do a little rewiring work on that ESC. Cut out some of those wires. But like I said, just a lot of little things in preparation. You know, it's better safe than sorry. And I hate for you guys to see this thing going to the drink on its first flight, especially after all that we've done. And like I said, just give you a little view of it here. That cheap cockpit looks so freaking good. You know, and I always tell my brother this: whenever you do stuff, put your own name on it. You know, there's my name right there. I like to put my own name on my planes. You know, makes me feel better. You know, you be your own person. So that's how the Sabre looks. And like I said, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to take care of a couple other things too, because I got the parts I need to get this Corsair fixed from that last little flight I did. And there's a Hawk there. I'm going to be preparing for that. I got some stuff so I can do some repair work on that. And we're going to make a video on putting a new nose on the Hawk. You guys will like that. So like I said, I've just been a little busy with work and so forth, getting ready for this 3-day weekend coming up. And I still got to do some more work on my Deuce. She's pretty solid and in one piece, but there's some few little things you want to check before you take her up in the air. And this will be her first time up this year. And I know when I parked her last year, she was in good shape. But after the move, and I found some stuff that was wrong with this, it's best to check. Best to check everything. So like I said, I'm not going to, just wanted to make this little quick video here showing you guys where we are and how close we have come. So in the meantime, you guys take care out there, and good flying to you.